Why is Luigi so popular? This is a question that I have been asking myself subconsciously for the last few years or so. I've been involved in the Mario community for all of my teenage and young adult years, and the very large and very apparent following of Mario's younger brother has always baffled me. The sheer difference in numbers between people who say they like Luigi over Mario compared to the other way around is honestly staggering. He's at the top of most popularity polls, he's normally one of the higher selected characters in all of the party games, as well as mainline games where he is a playable character. I mean, for God's sake, even the poll that I made that pushed me to make this video validates my curiosity. In a poll with two other incredibly popular characters in Nightwing and Shadow the Hedgehog, Luigi won by nearly 80%. I'm not saying any of this because I dislike Luigi, by the way. I'm just saying all of this because it has genuinely been a case of intrigue for me for years at this point. And I think after really thinking about Luigi and what people like about him, I think I figured it out. Today we'll be talking about the younger of the Mario brothers and why he is so beloved. Firstly, let's start off by answering a simple question. What is a sidekick? Narratively, a sidekick is meant to provide support to an important character as well as highlight said important character's defining traits. And when you pay attention to the dynamic of the Mario brothers, you can definitely tell that Luigi fits this description pretty well. Luigi is cowardly while Mario is brave. Luigi is clumsy while Mario is stalwart. Mario's normally bursting with joy and energy, while Luigi is a bit more sheepish. But despite narratively serving as Mario's sidekick in a lot of games, he's still so much more popular than his brother in the wider culture. Luigi is the original Player 2, the literal younger brother character that kids used to hand off to their younger brothers for classic multiplayer fun. But since then, he's become much more than that. Since his creation back in the original Mario Bros. Arcade game, he has had a whole series of games with him as the main character, and even had a whole dang year dedicated to him. Remember that? As the love for Luigi has only continued to skyrocket in the public eye, it's safe to say that Mario is now the one living in his shadow from a popularity perspective. This, I think, is a prime example of a phenomena in fiction that I've affectionately dubbed the sidekick syndrome. A scenario in which most of the audience of a certain story latches onto a supporting side character that prefers them over the main character for various reasons, and it's usually a sidekick. Think Vegeta and Goku, Shadow and Sonic, Nightwing and Batman, and so on. But Luigi seems to have transcended even those characters. In fact, I'd go out on a limb to say that he is the patient zero of this sidekick syndrome. I mean, you don't see Vegeta or Shadow getting entire years dedicated to them. Oh wait. Now, it'd be super easy for me to just approach this video from that perspective. How Luigi is the perfect sidekick in the same way that Mario is a perfect hero. But I think looking at him just as Mario's sidekick is doing him a huge disservice, and missing a major aspect of his character. On the flip side of that, however, I think the people who look at Luigi and see him only as a brother who wants to rise out of Mario's shadow are also entirely missing the point of his character. I feel like late 2000s, early 2010s YouTube has convinced us that Luigi strives to break free from his brother's influence, to become a hero all on his own without his brother getting all the glory. When in reality, that couldn't be further from the truth. Luigi is already famous and highly praised among the Mushroom Kingdom. In the Mario and Luigi RPGs and even other games, it's not the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom, it's heroes. Luigi is just as much of a hero as Mario is from the perspective of the Mushroom Kingdom residents. No one looks down on Luigi at any point throughout the series. Even if he's not as brave as his brother, everyone around him still encourages him to be the best version of himself. Most recently in Brothership, if you choose Luigi as the one to be kidnapped by the Snapterbirds, he gets cold feet right at the end in classic Luigi fashion. But instead of belittling him for his cowardice, everyone gives him the encouragement that he needs to buckle down and do what needs to be done. Furthermore, calling Luigi just Mario's sidekick, I feel, is an understatement. I don't think there's any point in Mario's mind or in his life that viewed Luigi as his, quote, Player 2. They're partners, equals, who will face the end of the world together if need be. If you pay close attention throughout the games, both mainline and secondary, there is no one that is more supportive of Luigi and his endeavors than Mario himself. When Luigi saves him from King Boo in Luigi's mansion, he is over the moon that he was brave enough to save him by himself. Despite what those old animated parodies would have you believe, everyone in Luigi's life is incredibly supportive of him. What's holding Luigi back is not his envy for his brother's fame, it's his confidence in himself. What do we know about Luigi? Well, he's cowardly, shy, and not nearly as confident as his brother, but he's also just as kind and cares just as much about the people around him. He's also just as capable as his brother, he just doesn't have the same level of confidence. If you pay attention throughout the RPGs, you'll notice that Luigi isn't nearly as scared when he's by his brother's side. Regardless of the threat they're facing, he feels confident because his brother is confident. When he's by himself, however, like in Luigi's Mansion or at various moments throughout the RPGs, but specifically Little Funky Town, he's significantly less confident and his cowardly nature rears its head. On the topic of Little Funky Town, I want to highlight that section of the game for a moment, because I feel like it highlights exactly what I'm talking about. Mario is put out of commission due to a sickness, and it's left up to Luigi to go find a herb that will heal him. And he is terrified. Teeth chattering, nervously inching his way across the town towards the desert that they had just trekked through not even 10 minutes ago. Before, with his brother, it wasn't nearly as scary, but now, by himself, it seems relatively more so. Then, on his way out, he encounters a hypnotist who offers to use his hypnotic powers to turn him into Mario, highlighting specifically everything about Mario that Luigi wants to be: brave, courageous, and someone the people around him can depend on. Just like his brother, Luigi wants to keep his loved ones safe, to be a hero for the people around him, but he lacks the proper confidence in himself to face the same dangers on his own. But the envy for Mario's level of courage doesn't come from jealousy like many try to spin it. It comes from admiration. Luigi adores his brother for his bravery and kindness, and just wishes that he was a little bit more like him, thus the scene in Little Funky Town. But the thing is about Luigi is that he's more like Mario than he thinks. In every Luigi's Mansion game, what happens? Mario, and sometimes various other friends of his, are kidnapped, leaving him alone to have to save the day. And what does he do? He picks himself up, despite the fear, and makes his way through the mansion. Even though he's scared, his love for Mario transcends his fear, because the one thing scarier than ghosts to him is a world without his brother. While Mario is a character that's meant for us to look up to and be inspired by, Luigi is a character that we can relate to and empathize with. He offers a more human angle to view this whimsical world from, and regularly shows insecurities that we, as viewers, can relate to. He's scared, he's shy, he's clumsy, but in the end, he always tries his best. While he may not think it himself, he is just as much of a hero of the Mushroom Kingdom as Mario is. Hilariously, the only one that doesn't recognize it is Luigi himself. Even though he messes up more times than not, his friends and family are always there to support them, and it's those very same people in his life that bring out the best in him. The bravery that's always been there, the strength that never left, and the courage to stand his ground in the darkest of times. The courage to jump. Thank you so much for watching. I figured after the Mario video blew up, it'd only be a matter of time before Luigi would also start to become requested. It was honestly pretty fun diving into Luigi's character, since I normally only really focus on these things with Mario, but really getting into the meat of what makes Luigi so popular and why he's so beloved was very fun to do. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.